boys, girls, all my Tromlogs out there, welcome back to Other Robert, and welcome to the best television shows of 2016. Now, last year, I think I said this, I take my list very seriously, and whereas the list top five most hated movies of 2016, that was a little bit more fun to create because, everyone loves to destroy a movie, right? No. That one, to me, because it's movies I'm not passionate about, that one's a little bit easier to make. But for top five television shows, top five movies of 2016, that's a lot harder for me. So I really put some time into these lists, double checked it. I checked it twice, made a list and checked it twice. I checked it a few times. I made sure that these were the ones I was very confident in the list. So without further ado, top five television shows. First, I got two honorable mentions that I was dying to put on this list, but just couldn't. And the first honorable mention is Daredevil. Daredevil season 2 was fantastic, even better than the first season. The addition of the Punisher and Elektra, intriguing, right? Very intriguing characters, and I can't wait to see more from them in the future. This show should definitely be higher on my list, but it was a good year. And for me, although Daredevil was a fantastic show, it didn't connect with me in the way that these other shows did. So that's why it's only an honorable mention. But this was one of the strongest shows of 2016 without a doubt. Still kind of kept that dark tone, but I mean, Marvel right now, the Netflix Marvel shows are absolutely killing it. And you'll see Netflix on a few times on this list, I can assure you. But next honorable mention, and this was, I'm so mad I couldn't get this on my list as as a number, but it's Troll Hunters. It kills me to say that I couldn't make it a numbered entry onto the list. But Troll Hunters is a fantastic show. If you have not seen it, don't let the fact that it's not a number here kind of deter you. If I could recommend any show on this list, I'd probably recommend Troll Hunters because I think Troll Hunters probably has the most, the widest appeal for anyone, just because of how charming it was, how exciting it was to watch, and how much it hooked me, especially in the second half of the season. Not that the first half was weak, it's just it got stronger as it went along. And Troll Hunters is a true delight, and I really wish it was a numbered entry on the list. But number five, if you see me glancing over, it's because I have my list here, so I don't, mess. At this point, pretty much have it memorized, but just in case I don't mess anything up, I just look at my list. But number five is The Flash. The Flash, what can I say? The Flash, I think, has been on my list. Well, this was season 2, right? Oh, but it starts, and I was gonna say, it feels like this has already been on my list a couple times. Flash is just killing it. Flash, we saw in 2016 the second half of season 2 and the first half of season 3, which were tremendous. I know there's a lot of hate for some reason with the latter half of season 2. Don't understand why. I thought season 2 built so nicely. It was, Zoom felt like a threat, the biggest threat in the show that we've had to this point. Yeah, not to this point. Sorry. I mean, season 3, I think with Savitar, even though he may look a little goofy, he may look like a Transformer, but the threat's there. And I'm talking about Savitar because that's still 2016. We had the latter half of season 2 and the first half of season 3. Savitar is a threat, and one of the aspects about Savitar that makes him so dangerous is the mystery. And although we didn't know who Zoom was, we kind of got that he was from Earth 2. We kind of knew his evil, if that makes sense. We kind of, because he was known on Earth 2, and it was kind of, he had a little bit of a history or whatever. There wasn't as much mystery, in my opinion, with Zoom as there was with Savitar. Savitar, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what his deal is. I think they figured out that he's from the future or something in the mid-season premiere. But the fact that he can also kind of combine Flashpoint and everything via the alchemy persona and kind of give people his powers. There's a lot to Savitar we don't really know, and the mystery is dangerous because it feels like the more we turn out, the more in trouble our heroes get. And he kind of indicated that he may be one of them in the future. At least that was kind of the indication that I got, because he knows them all so well, it seems, in the future. So my guess is that's Wally, um, but I don't know, right? It could be HR. Um, I'm going to guess Wally, though. I think that'd be an interesting approach. But really, I mean, Flash is on a roll, absolutely killing it. In my opinion, the best DC show. And I thought they handled Flashpoint great. And I'm going to stop talking about Flash now because I can talk about Flash all day. I got more shows. Number 4 is BoJack Horseman. This is a show, another one, should have been higher. Season 2 was tremendous. Season 2 was, it was either 1 or 2 last year for my top 5 television shows. It was really, really good season 2. Season 3, not as strong as season 2, a lot darker. A lot darker. However, season 3 did provide what was the most beautiful episode, possibly of any series I've seen in a while. And that was episode 4 of season 3, as everyone likes to call it, the underwater episode. That episode, there weren't many words. There didn't need to be, but the story that was told, just through the music and the animation, was absolutely beautiful. And I can't tell you how many times I've rewatched the episode, and I still feel something every time. And there's only a few words in the episode, but the ones that are there count. The intro, fine. They give you a brief introduction for what the episode's going to be, right? They need to give you that introduction as to why there won't be words. But towards the end, when there are a couple words, the words are there matter, and they're impactful. And I mean, some great quotes from BoJack Horseman season 3, and the extent to the extent that the show went in season 3. It got dark, but it really set you up for season 4, and I can't wait for season 4. Season 4, in my opinion, season 3, it didn't fall that hard from season 2. Season 2 is still so strong, but season 3 was strong too. So season 4, it could be even better than season 2 at this point. It's not that they've fallen too hard that they can't pick themselves back up. It just wasn't as good as season 2. But season 3 was tremendous, and I highly recommend BoJack Horseman in general if you have not seen it. It's one of the most interesting animated shows that you will see at this point. I'm not going to say ever see, but see at this point, especially on Netflix. Number 3 is Hell on Wheels. Hell on Wheels is a show I've never reviewed because I actually just started. I first saw it a couple months ago, and I binged the whole series. What a tremendous series, really. I think I might have had a different experience since I binged it, and I didn't watch it live throughout all the years, but it did end in 2016, so that's why it's on this list. Tremendous show. And really, it's about the building of the Transcontinental Railroad. I know to a lot of people that might sound like, oh no, but no, it's actually a very interesting show. Dark in its own ways. It's not like BoJack Horseman dark, but it shows that, for lack of a better word, it was hell. It was hell at that time period building that railroad, and you really feel like, at least to a little point, that you witnessed the some of the hell that went into building this railroad, and for the television show to depict life that strongly, and for you to kind of build that connection with that show is saying something. And especially the final season is what aired in 2016. It was good. It wasn't my favorite season. Actually, it was probably my least favorite season besides 1. But there were some episodes that were gold. The episode with Swede, who's a character in the show, tremendous episode. I mean, there were some tremendous episodes, and I don't agree with everything they did as a viewer. I felt like they kind of did the wrong turn, and then when you read what other choices they were going to go with, then you go like, okay, no, you picked the right choice. As a viewer, you kind of felt like these characters should have got more. But I mean, that's the point, right? With Hell on Wheels, all these characters, life wasn't great. And the fact that these characters, I guess, didn't get more, and it didn't wrap everything up in a nice, tight bow, that's the show. So it fits the show, the ending. But I mean, really, I had to throw the show on there. I loved this show. It took me a little while to get into it. I wasn't really into it until maybe halfway through season 2, but I became addicted to the show once I got into it. So Hell on Wheels is number 3. Number 2 is The Walking Dead. I know that's gonna piss so many people off. I'm a huge Walking Dead fan. I've always been. Season 4, I kind of fell out. Season 4 was weak. Season 5, although the second half was stronger than the. No, I can't say that because Gareth was in the first half in the Hunters. And the Hunters, that was a good storyline, but just it ran too quickly. Season 5 was hit or miss in big ways. Season 6, same thing. Hit or miss in big ways. And then in 2016, we had the second half of 6 and the first half of 7. The second half of 6, although it was hit or miss, I thought it built so nicely to this threat. If no one knows anything about the comics and you're just a fan of the television show, they built up this character Negan as this big threat in season 6. Oh, you're working for Negan now. This for Negan. This for Negan. Everyone's talking about Negan. You don't know Negan. It's really building this character up. And then when he makes his debut, he comes out and smashes the beacons of hope. And I say the beacons because there were 2 characters who I referred to in season 6 as the beacons of hope. You had Glenn, who was always kind of the beacon of hope. You had Abraham, who was getting there. So for him to come and just literally smash and break those beacons of hope, and really just kind of break the hope with it, from a thematic standpoint, season 7 was brilliant. The first half, it showed that lack of hope. It showed how the world is his now. The world is Negan's. He within 15 minutes on the show, he had the most heat. He had the most hate of any villain on the show. And I mean, with the first half of season 7, it's only grown. And I know a lot of people love him because he's funny and charismatic and stuff, and that's what makes a great villain. You know, you need that charisma for a great villain. So he's stolen the show in the first half of season 7, and it built. You know, a lot of people were hating season 7 the first half. It built. It needed to build, and it built to a nice point where, like I said, the hope was gone, but the hope's back. And for a character like Daryl to be subservient to Negan the entire season, and for Negan trying to crack Daryl the whole season and not really being able to do so, and for him to say my name, what's your name? And he wants him to say Negan. When Daryl hands Rick the gun, he's not saying anything, he's just making a movement, but that movement speaks 1,000 words. You know, that movement sums up the season where Negan was breaking them all down, but now it's in Rick's hands. Now the hope's back. Negan was trying to be broken to give to Negan. It's given to Rick. You know, and Rick didn't demand it. Rick didn't ask for it. You know, that's just how Rick is. And it showed it showed a lot for who Rick is. You know, not that we don't know who Rick is, but it was a great moment, and it shows that the hope's back. And you see, it was a great juxtaposition with the beginning of the season, where you see all the characters individually who might get Lucille'd. We see all these individual characters now, not the same ones, obviously, but we see these shots of these individual characters one by one with smiles, and the hope's back. And I think that was fantastic storytelling, and really showed me, reminded me why I'm such a Walking Dead fan. And number 1, I think this is no surprise. I mean, this show really dominated this year. This really made a name for itself. Stranger Things, season 1, is number 1. Wow, right? I mean, this was a show. I love horror, right? And this captivated everything that I love about horror. That mystery, that intrigue, that 80s feel, which had its own kind of feel. This felt like a mix to me between Stephen King and Steven Spielberg, right? This felt like Stephen King's It. This felt a lot like It, which is actually funny because the main boy from Stranger Things is apparently going to be the main boy in the remake of It, which fits unbelievably well because it felt very similar. It felt like between the characters, Stephen King's It. But then it felt like Steven Spielberg movie when it came to just this presence and this world and what's really there. Um, and really, it just felt like a perfect combination. It had the '80s feel, even the look of a lot of characters, very very '80s, and it fit. It really fit, and it really just had so many standout moments. It built as a season terrifically. This was a show that I binged a few times. I can't wait for season two. This was very well done storytelling. And when someone says, "Oh, what's your favorite horror movie of the past few years?" Stranger Things comes into my mind, which is funny because it's not a movie. But it's rare that you see a horror television show that connects so well, and this connected. And I think it's because in the way that Stephen King's It wasn't too much of a horror. It was more just that story of friendship. That's what this is. And I mean, there's definitely those horror elements. And, if I had described it as a genre, I'd say horror. Um, but it's about that story of friendship between the main characters and loss with Winona Ryder. Um, and it made for a beautiful television show. And this is a show that I cannot wait until season two. And I mean, it is rightfully at the top of my list. So that's my list for the top 5 television shows of 2016. This was hard for me to make. This was definitely hard for me to make. Very passionate about all the shows I mentioned, not just the numbered entries, but the honorable mentions as well. That's it for me. So I want to know what your guys' list are. Put your list down below. Let's talk about this. Let's talk over the best television shows of 2016. And that's pretty much everything for this video. So subscribe. It takes around that much effort to do so. Until next time, you have been